I'm waiting for people to get into the chat. How are you guys doing today? Hope everyone's having a nice Wednesday. I've been having a very busy Wednesday. Whew, my lord, have I been busy. Only now have I been able to actually sit down and take a rest. My god. And yet here I am still working. So, yeah, I hope you guys are having a good day so far. We're going to have some fun today. Hello, Mr. E3. How are you, sir? You are awesome, sir. You know this. You are awesome. We're just going to wait until people come in. Just going to wait. Just gonna wait. Just gonna wait. Just gonna wait. Hello, Will. How are you? I've not seen you around before. How are you doing, sir? How are you doing, sir? I've not seen you around before. Thank you, E3. I appreciate it. That's very nice of you, man. Thank you. How are you doing, Will? Normally, it doesn't take people this long to get in here, but I don't. I'll start when I feel as if I have sufficient cause to start. Good to hear that, man. I'm happy to hear that. Very happy to hear that. See these live stream. Hey, how you doing? Then what? Hey, that fan art. I'm gonna have to put that on the screen. That fan art is amazing. That fan art is absolutely immaculate. Like, oh my gosh. I wish I could actually do that in real life, man. I don't. I'm not that magical. Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. You made it before the crowd. How you doing, Frog Cage? Not sure I know. I'm not sure you've been on the stream before, but welcome. Welcome. We'll see how far we go today. Normally my streams are like 4 hours long, and that's not intentional. It just gets going, but it's the truth. You made phenomenal fan. I love it, and you are a very talented illustrator. Very talented. My lord. Are they very talented or very skilled? But I think both of those go hand in hand. Oh well, I mean. It's only the truth. Your singing is great, your musicianship is great, and your drawing is great. What more can anyone ever ask for? Seriously, you're awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Gothics is wonderful. We're gonna be doing some more stuff with her soon. Gothics is wonderful. So, yeah, we love Gothics, obviously. Gothics is wonderful. But I'm happy to have you guys over here. I'm always happy to have you guys over here. I'm waiting for a few more folks to get in before we start the stream, so just feel free to chat with me if you want to. Once a few more folks get in here, I'll begin the topics. Although it's my opinion that I think this channel is more of a pre-recorded video channel rather than a live channel. I think some YouTubers just stream live and that's all they do. I mostly just do pre-recorded videos because number one, it's a little bit easier. Number two, there's less going on, um, and they tend to be shorter. Live streams can be short potentially, but with the interaction of the chat and everything, it can cause things to go on longer. So, but I'm happy to do live streams. I mean, I think that live streams are a phenomenal way to reach out to people, a phenomenal way to interact with your audience. Proud to watch someone who speaks their mind about what's been going on instead of being. Look, I mean, and it's very easy. Look, it is very easy to live in falsehood. It would be very easy. My life would be much easier academically and socially if I simply parroted the narratives that are expected of a young African American college student. My life would be much easier. I would have much less inertia in my daily life. I would have many more friends. If I simply walked and stepped into the archetype, or as Emerson would say in his essay on Solitude and Society, if I adorned the garb of the broader expectation of me, of the avatar, so to speak, of how an African American, according to some people, are supposed to think, I would be able to have jolly good fun with a lot of people. I would probably be much more liked at my university. I would probably, but I'm not going to do that. No, Edwin, I'm not being a hack, dude. I mean, I'm not being a hack at all. Why do you say that? I'm not being a hack. I'm not being a hack. Frogcade said, I'm proud to see someone who speaks their mind. There is a certain way that an African American, an African American is meant to operate in this world. Oh, Frogcade, that means a lot to me, buddy. Thank you. 3 years younger. Wow, I'm 20. I'm 17. Wow. You're 17. Wow. Something else. 17. Wow. Dang it. It's been 3 years since I've been 17. That's something else, man. Jesus Christ. Been a long time. Been a long, long time. No, Edwin. No. Okay, so. Oh, no. No. It depends on the context you're talking about. On most college campuses, African Americans who hold a particular point of view are derided. That's number one. Number two, in general society, there is a reason why terms like Uncle Tom and the C word, which I will not say, there is a reason why those things exist. They are not figments of some vast right-wing conspiracy fantasy land. They actually exist because guess what? There's stuff going on that correlates to them. There's stuff going on that correlates to them. I'm not being a hack. And also, let me explain this Dr. Seuss thing. Dr. Seuss is in a sense being canceled. The association that prints Dr. Seuss is saying that they do not want to print him anymore because Dr. Seuss, in their opinion, has had some racially and culturally insensitive archetypes in his literature. Therefore, there are certain books that Dr. Seuss has written that they don't want people to read anymore. They are essentially stopping the printing of those books. That is cancellation. Even if we have the ability to go underground or somewhere else and get the books through other means, you have Dr. Seuss's estate saying this does not reflect modern day society. And we'll get into their reasoning and why their reasoning is actually, their reasoning ties into this idea that history is a deterministic entity rather than a record. So there's a lot of moving parts going on here, Edwin. And I don't appreciate you calling me a hack. That's not right. I'm not a hack. I'm someone who cares about the truth, okay? I'm someone who cares about the truth. I'm not a hack. Yeah. Okay, so Dr. Seuss is being put on the chopping block of the contemporary standards for what morality are. He's being subjected to this sort of woke postmodern standard of morality, of acceptability. And this is important in the context of what has been happening over the past few months, over the past few years. And I don't care if they're a private company. Private companies can cave to the pressures of the culture. In fact, most private companies do cave to the pressures of the culture. Dr. Seuss's estate has every right to do whatever they want to them, to his stuff. I don't get good, great. What I have every right as well to condemn it. So no, I'm not being a hack. I'm not being disingenuous. I think that African Americans, by and large, throughout broader society, are held to a particular standard, and if they do not fulfill that standard, they are derided. That's a fact. I can point to you several instances where that happens. And number two, Dr. Seuss is being weighed against the current cultural standards that have been imposed by people like D'Angelo and by mechanisms like critical race theory. You're not being a hack. I'm not being a hack by saying that. So you should probably be very careful about what you say, because you're not operating in truth right now. You're operating in falsehood. You're operating in antagonism. Don't be antagonistic, Edwin. Don't be antagonistic. And this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. I mention these things. And even if I'm not called an Uncle Tom or whatever, I'll get called a hack. I had a lot of folks saying, oh, are you being paid by the Koch brothers? Are you being... I wish I was getting a check from one of these people. I'm struggling out here, man. I'm a college student. I wish they were financing me, man. One person accused me of being a CIA operative. I'm like, I'm one of the most low budget CIA operatives to ever exist. I'm a CIA operative. What? Oh God. We're the racist, and therefore, well, I think even complex humans are capable of being racist. Well, I think anyone's capable of being racist. I mean, I think anyone's capable of being racist, but I think that it's wrong to assume that certain people are racist or have certain racial insensitivities that are implicit to them on the basis of their skin color. That is the common assumption, the dominant assumption of many left-leaning ideologies these days. That is the dominant assumption of many academic ideologies these days. So, I'm against that sort of reductive assertion. It's being a hack because you are inflating an issue that's not an issue. This is a right-wing talking... It's not a talking point. I'm quite literally... I'm going to... Well, first of all, I've given you the pre-game show as to my explanation of this. And now, I'm also explaining to you why I think it's an impertinent issue that reflects a lot of cultural stuff. I mean, I'm not being a hack because I'm talking about a pertinent issue. I think you're being very disingenuous, Edwin. You're being very disingenuous, man. Very. When did I join the CIA? That's a good question, man. I don't know. I was not aware that I was in the CIA. I wasn't aware. I didn't know. No one informed me of this revelation. So, me a hack. Look, I get incoming from both the right and the left. I have people on the right who think I am insufficiently right-leaning. And I have people on the left who think that I'm all kind of terrible, demonic things. I never said the book is being banned, Edwin. You're attacking a straw man. I said that he is being canceled. And in a sense, guess what? He is being canceled. You can be canceled and still be available in the public eye. Dr. Seuss can be culturally attacked, or he can have some sort of arbitrary judgment imposed upon him while still having his resources available to the public eye. I mean, those two things are not mutually incompatible propositions. I don't know what this militancy is about, Edwin. You got to stop it. You're being militant for no reason. You're being militant. You're being militant. I've explained to you. I'm trying. So I'm trying to wait till more people get in here, but you've kind of derailed me. I was going to explain, but I mean, the militancy, dude. Stop it. There's no need for that. There's no need for the militancy. You decided to subject yourself to watching me. Okay. There's no need for the militancy. Especially when I'm about to explain this entire thing. The militancy is not necessary. It's entirely unnecessary. So, and how you doing, KM? How you doing? Yeah, the FBI. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. Who then what asks me? I'm calm. Look, man, I'm good today, man. I'm fresh. I've been busy all day. I've been getting productive work done. We got the website coming out tomorrow. I'm good. I'm calm. I don't know, but some people are just kind of, want to be militant today. And hey, that's fine. I don't mind militancy. You just not in my midst, though. Not in my midst, man. We're gonna be very calm and pensive here. We can be passionate, but not militant. There's no need for that stuff. So I'm calm. I just don't think that that insults should go unchecked. Just my opinion. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hello, Anon for Gmail blank. I hope I'm saying your screen name correctly. Hello, how are you? How are you doing? Hope everything's going okay with you. Hope you're having a good Wednesday so far. It's always good to see you. It's always good to see you. It's always good to see all of you, by the way. All right. So, I think a lot of you are in here now. I think that we can get started in a moment. Well, we've already gotten started, I think. So we can continue. Hello, KVNG. Not Pyom. I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry. So the Dr. Seuss controversy. So let me pull my notes up here. So my friends, there's a particular virulent strain of thinking that is dominating certain aspects of our current cultural discourse. And that is none other than the desire to rectify the supposed wrongs of history through current action. This Dr. Seuss stuff. Well, let me just read to you the article, by the way, that the Associated Press put out this morning, which kind of explains all of this in a nutshell, and we'll go through it. Let me just. Okay, I don't want to sign up for your mailing list, AP. I don't think you guys deserve my assent. All right, so I assume you guys can see my screen. I hope you can at least. So it says here 6 Dr. Seuss books, including And to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street, and If I Ran the Zoo will stop being published because of a racist and insensitive imagery. The business that preserves and protects the author's legacy said on Tuesday. These books portray people in ways that are hurtful and wrong, Dr. Seuss Enterprises told the Associated Press in a statement that coincided with the late author and illustrator's birthday. Ceasing sales of these books is only part of our commitment in our broader plan to ensure Dr. Seuss Enterprises catalog represents and supports all communities and all families. All right, let's stop right there. Let's hold it right there. Let's hold it right there. Let's read that again. Ceasing sales of these books is only part of our commitment and our broader plan to ensure that Dr. Seuss Enterprises catalog represents and supports all communities and families. This is what I am talking about, my friends. That's why I have the title saying, History as a Deterministic Force. This justification lacks context. This is one of the biggest flaws of so many left-leaning arguments that try to go ahead and ban XYZ. There was a push to ban Gone with the Wind and to ban Baby It's Cold Outside because they depicted certain things that are currently unacceptable to the modern-day contemporary woke standards. They're substandards, as I call them. Not really standards, they're substandards. Because they are drawing from a lower point and trying to lift that lower point, lift that gutter into our cultural space and just push out all of their nonsense. You see, Bob Dylan had a saying. Bob Dylan said, and It's All Right, Ma, that he was talking about a particular kind of individual in a particular kind of society. He said, he who speaks with his tongue on fire, garbles in the rat race choir, bent out of shape by society's pliers, cares not to climb up any higher, but rather would get you down the hole where he's in. These people are embodying the sort of archetypal rat race garbling man that Dylan was talking about. They're embodying that. My friends, you cannot have Dr. Seuss. You cannot have Thomas Jefferson. You cannot have any figure. You cannot have George Washington. You cannot have Cicero. You cannot have Tertullian, however you say his name. You cannot have any of these individuals without having the context of their history. One of the reasons why in philosophy we learn history first is because if you don't understand the history that these philosophers are enmeshed in, you can't understand their arguments. If you were to just come to Plato and have no understanding that he was an ancient Greek philosopher who lived thousands of years ago, you would probably be very confused about what he was saying, how he was saying it, what he was talking about, why he was referencing the gods. You have to have context if you're going to have understanding. So if we accept that context is necessary for epistemic righteousness and meaning for knowledge production, for going about producing knowledge in the correct way, if we're going to accept that premise, then we have to accept that even books that may have depicted certain things that we today find abhorrent can be good learning lessons for our kids as to why we eschew those things, right? Wasn't Dr. Seuss all about learning from your mistakes and knowing more? Didn't Dr. Seuss say the more you know, the more places you'll go? But guess what? It's not about epistemic humility anymore. It's about assuming epistemic dominance, meaning anointing one kind of knowledge above the other and contextualizing that knowledge within the framework of historical prudishness and saying, hey, this happened here. We have deemed this to be wrong right here. Therefore, all knowledge, you guys aren't listening to me, all knowledge within this current space must be evaluated by this standard, and only acceptable knowledge shall be accepted by us. Do you see what's happening here? They're missing context, and they're butchering our ability to understand certain concepts because they're missing context. And for one to say that I'm a hack, because I'm recognizing this sort of driving falsehood, which animates the dispositions of people who think that it is okay to butcher past works without context, is to, again, prove the point I'm making. If you call me a hack, because I'm kind of pointing out the knowledge problem, you yourself may not be interested in understanding the truth. So this justification put out by Dr. Seuss Enterprises that says we want his work to support all communities. Dr. Seuss has been dead since the 90s, I think. Over 30 years. But if you have a fluid view of history, and you don't view history as a record, but instead as a living, breathing timeline of all kind of stuff that constantly feeds into the present, if you have a fluid view of history, not only do you miss the context of a writer's work, you may very well miss the intent, and you will therefore miss the message. Context, intent, message. Keep those three variables in your head, guys. Context, intent, message. The context will typically tell you or confer to you an understanding of what the intent was, and the intent will typically inform the message. But when you rip out the context, when you obliterate the context, the intent and the message get lost. So not only is Dr. Seuss Enterprises quite literally limiting our ability to understand Dr. Seuss and to understand why he may have included those things in his works, they're saying there's only a certain kind of acceptable knowledge that must be permitted, and that knowledge must be an artificial auxiliary towards certain people. The artificial auxiliary. The artificial auxiliary. You guys don't understand me. This is a system. This is a system. This is a system of pretension, raining down bolts of destruction and doom upon us. This is a system. So if you're convinced, let's walk through this premise. If you're convinced that certain people in this world, by virtue or by vice of their race, their social class, are at an inherent disadvantage, meaning if you buy victimhood philosophy, then you're convinced that within the realm of that philosophy, there are certain kinds of knowledge that continually disadvantage people. The only conclusion by that premise, starting at the victimhood philosophy, is to begin restricting certain kinds of knowledge to prevent the totem pole from going down, down, down. So we can understand and see the philosophy that Dr. Seuss Enterprises is using here. Let me read their statement again. This is their justification for getting rid of those books. Ceasing sales of these books is only part of our commitment and our broader plan to ensure Dr. Seuss's Enterprises catalog represents and supports all communities and families. Is Dr. Seuss still alive? I thought Dr. Seuss Enterprises was meant to preserve his work. Preserving Dr. Seuss's work is not a value judgment about certain kinds of people. But when you have this framework that begins with the grievance philosophy and works its way down, even past ills constantly feed into current ills and therefore have to be addressed as if those past ills occurred yesterday. So you get a disrupted sense of time. You see, not only is Dr. Seuss Enterprises not operating with epistemic humility, meaning they are not willing to understand the context of Dr. Seuss's stuff, they also don't have a proper sense of time. And they're letting things written 60 years ago, 50 years ago, guide their decisions today. That's anti-intellectual, people. An intellectual will look at information and he will change his positions in accordance with the development of new information. These stereotypes that were in Dr. Seuss's book, they are not new information. Supposedly, Dr. Seuss Enterprises knew about them for a very long time. If this was really about protecting families, why didn't they take action like 20 years ago? Because it's not about protecting anyone. It's about putting forward a false, narrow idea of knowledge, operating with a distorted sense of time, and sanctimoniously shutting down things and adjudicating the past through the present. It's anti-intellectual, it makes no sense, it has no context, and therefore does not produce any fruit. It's an impotent way of doing things. They are operating right now in impotence. And I'm getting sick of impotent organizations trying to dictate a relativistic sense of morality upon me and you. I'm sick of it. So let's understand what's going on with Dr. Seuss. They're not trying to protect anyone. They're operating from a premise which confirms a certain type of knowledge. And that certain type of knowledge excludes the proper way of actually understanding knowledge. So there's a knowledge problem. They are trying to adjudicate past ills through present action, because they assume those past ills continually exist in the present. So there's a timeline problem. So I have demonstrated to you that Dr. Seuss Enterprises has a problem of epistemology and a problem of chronology. And most importantly, they are trying to forget the context in which Dr. Seuss's works occurred in. And therefore, they are missing their ability to understand the bigger picture. They're being reductive. So let's stop taking reductive approaches to certain cultural ills, and let's try to paraphrase them or contextualize them in a manner that helps people understand why these things were wrong, but also keeps them open for public distribution. So, that's my opinion on this entire canceling nonsense. It's not that we're banning, we're not banning, no, it's not that we're banning anything, it's the fact that we are operating with a false sense of knowledge, we're eschewing context, we're eschewing time, we are eschewing every single thing that could actually help us understand certain things. Goings, I'm not saying the Asian stereotypes in Dr. Seuss books are okay. They're not okay. They're not okay. They're not okay. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, they miss context, number one, and context can confer a alternative method by which to ensure that these people that Dr. Seuss Enterprises claims they are helping are actually helped. They are assuming a false dichotomy here. Either we get rid of these books, or bad things happen. Either we get rid of these books, or by the language of their statement, the families we're trying to protect are hurt. Can there not be a third way? Can we not simply have seminars about the pathway of racial, the development of racial sensitivity in Dr. Seuss's books? Can we not have seminars about that? Can we not teach our kids that, hey, this is a snapshot in time of what folks used to think? We don't think like this anymore, therefore, XYZ. Why do we have to operate in false dichotomies? We don't have to operate in false dichotomies. The problem is, a lot of people do not see another way out except through false dichotomies. So, anyway. I'm getting tired of this stuff, man. The pretension, the flawed epistemology, the lack of context, the messed up sense of time. Time is linear, my friends. Time is linear. Just because something happened in relation to your point in time does not mean that thing is happening currently. But for a lot of the social justice people who like to rant on about slavery, time is not a linear force. So yes, I condemn the stereotypes that are in the books. I condemn that. I don't make any excuse for it. But this is not about if they're justified or not. This is about how do we deal with them. So there's a different issue coming on here. People are saying, well, they're not justified. Okay, great. We can agree that that kind of stuff is not right, but how do you handle it? The answer to that question is not so clear to me. Well, it is clear to me. You don't ban the books. You don't restrict the books. You use them as a teaching lesson. So anyway, no. So Dr. Seuss Enterprises Goins got bullied by a bunch of people who have a certain disposition, and they decided, hey, we're going to ensure that your sensitivities and sensibilities are catered to, and voila, this is what happens. This is what happens. It's what happens. So that's my opinion on this entire thing. Anyway, that's the main thing. That and the deterministic history that I want to talk about today. So I've kind of touched on them. But it's no fun if I'm preaching at you guys. So, do you have any questions? If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm going to get in my Discord group, actually. I'm going to get on my Discord group. And if you guys want to Counter Collective, can you please put the Discord link, a permanent Discord link in the chat so people can join the Discord. I'm going to get in the Discord and we're going to have a conversation if you guys want to. I'll be in the Discord chat and you'll be able to come in and pop in and talk to me. That's right, Gregorio. You're entirely right. Again, this is about free choice here, and this is not. I'm not under the presumption that Dr. Seuss his estate should cater to my interests. Again, they are a private organization; they can do what they want legally. What I'm saying is, these organizations have a huge cultural effect, and we have to understand that, and they should be very responsible with that kind of authority and that kind of power. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, so just if you could put a Discord link, Counter Collective, in the chat. I'm going to get in my Discord chat, and people, if you want to come to Discord and chat with me, feel free to. I don't mind whatsoever. Can have a conversation. Yep, there's a Discord link. So if you're going to come in my Discord chat and have a conversation with me on the stream, you can. I'm joining the voice chat right now. So yes, sir. So if you guys want to have a conversation on the stream, all I ask is that you please don't curse. I have trouble cursing sometimes. Don't curse. And I think we'll have a good stream, okay? So just click the link, and if you want to talk to me on the stream, just come into the general voice chat, and things will be all right. If you don't want to talk on the stream, then that's fine as well. I don't care. Well, I do care, but still. No, Jordan. Again, I'm not saying they're not banning books in the sense that you can't legally access them anymore, but they're trying to streamline. They're trying to streamline and cull the range of acceptable literature that is being held to these arbitrary standards. That's and if you're trying to do that, you better have a good reason. But if your reason is predicated upon epistemological falsehoods and it doesn't have a proper understanding of context or time, then my God, you don't have a good reason in the first place. So, That's one thing. Yeah, but I mean, well, Professor, we're gonna keep talking about it though. I mean, so I've opened the chat up to Discord. If you know what Discord is, you can come in my Discord server and talk with me on stream if you want to. But yeah, we're gonna keep talking about it. I mean, I'm not gonna stop. I mean, if you guys want me to, I'm tired today. Obviously, I mean, today's been a very busy day for me. I appeared on Jesse Kelly's show. You guys know who Jesse Kelly is? Jesse Kelly is he is a political commentator. He has a show on the First TV. The First TV is a network that currently hosts Bill O'Reilly and Buck Sexton and Dana Loesch, awesome people in my opinion. I don't always agree with them, but they're awesome in my opinion. And so I was on his show today. It's going to be airing tonight at 9 p.m. and I'll have a clip up on the channel tomorrow. So I've been doing that. I've been running around my campus all the time. It's just been busy, man. So I've preached about the sort of epistemological woes of trying to cancel Dr. Seuss. Because the reason they gave is not a very convincing reason. Who are you protecting by limiting the range of available knowledge? You're not protecting anyone. You're limiting our ability to get to a holistic understanding. And if I operate with a one-sided understanding, I cannot interact with a particular subject honestly or effectively. So you're not really helping me by trying to get rid of imagery that is bad. You're actually kind of restricting. Why do you think Holocaust museums have pictures of bodies in concentration camps? There's something about imagery that is atrocious that can help us learn stuff. We learn from tragedy. We don't run away from it. We learn from tragedy. Or at least we should. We should learn from tragedy, in my opinion. Good health. My health is fine from what I understand. I'm just tired. I'm just tired, man. Just very tired. But look, I do this for you guys, though. I love you guys, and you support me. And if you support me, I mean, what in the world? Jesus. I mean, hell, you. Yeah, no problem, Jordan. Look, I don't mind people disagreeing with me. There are some folks who have such a pretension about them that they hate it when folks disagree. I don't mind. Please disagree with me, please. It helps me get better. Hell. What is that? Old proverb, old adage to say, iron sharpens iron, right? Hell, it helps me get better, please. I'm not right about everything. So, please disagree with me. I don't mind. I don't mind at all. And again, if you want to talk to me on the stream, you can come in my Discord chat, and you can come in the general chat, and I'm in the general chat, so we can talk on stream. I don't mind. I enjoy talking on stream to my fans. I don't mind. It's very nice. Okay, didn't a Disney film movie? I'm not sure if they did. Napoyomi. They may have. I don't know. Netflix has a Black Mirror episode where the child is blocked from seeing anything. Exactly. It's kind of like the allegory of the cave, right? It's kind of like the allegory of the cave. And this is one of the most referenced allegories in all philosophy. One of the most referenced thought experiments in all philosophy. And which is why I don't like to reference it too much. Because I've noticed when you reference what is already in the public consciousness and what has been explained time and time again, your advice seems cheap. But I think this is very much like the allegory of the cave. Very much so. Should the Confederate flag be canceled or banned? No, sir, or no, ma'am. I'm not sure what your sex is. I'm not trying to be, but no. Nope. Nay. No. First of all, the Confederate flag, my lord. Okay, first of all, the Confederate flag, as much as I disdain it, has significant cultural interest to many people who harbor no racially animus sentiments towards anyone. I live in the South. I can walk outside my door right now, go down the street, and see a Confederate flag flying. And no matter how much I shake my head at that, I understand that symbolizes something that is a little bit, but is much deeper than a conflict in which a lot of Americans died. It is much deeper than slavery. It is much deeper. For many people, it symbolizes something. And guess what? I don't think that's not subjective either. I think that a lot of people in the South have a certain kind of pride in their lineage. And hey, I'm not justifying the wisdom of that. I think that if you have pride in things that came before you, things you had nothing to do with, you should probably reevaluate your estimation of pride. Personally, you didn't choose to be born in the South. You didn't choose to have people who fought in the Civil War. You didn't choose that stuff. So why in the world are you prideful over it? First of all, pride, in my opinion, is a bad thing. I think it's a bad thing, first of all. Don't be full of yourself. You should be happy about your accomplishments, but don't be full of yourself. Don't be full of yourself. Understand that there is a world that exists outside of you, right? Don't be full of yourself. Because sometimes pride can be equated with arrogance. Don't be arrogant. Don't do that. So, what do I think about people that fly those flags? What do you mean about? I'm not going to judge someone as a person because they fly a Confederate flag. I'm just not. I'm going to test the fruits. I'm going to see, okay, why are you doing this? Unless, because the Confederate flag is very historically nuanced. Whereas the Nazi flag has more clearer meanings than the Confederate flag. So it depends. If the piece of paraphernalia have clearer meanings and they're not historically nuanced, then okay. But if they're historically nuanced and they have been used by a lot of people in many different ways than what they are popularly estimated to mean, in the case of the Confederate flag, it being estimated as a paragon of white supremacy and slavery, then let's have a conversation. If someone waves the American flag, I have no idea what they believe. There are leftists that wave the American flag. But if someone has the Gadsden flag, the Don't Tread on Me flag, okay, I can probably discern what they believe. So it depends on the message the flag... Okay, it depends on two things. My judgment of someone depends on A, the message the flag conveys, and B, the context in which the flag is being used. If the message is pretty much universal across the line, okay, I'm done. But if the message is different, then we have to be nuanced. So I don't, the Nazis basically made the Buddhist love symbol seem evil. But I don't fly the Confederate flag. I'm not going to. I don't have friends who do that. I've had friends in the past who've done that. And again, I'm not a fan of that, but I don't jump to the assertion that they're racist, because there is a lot of nuance behind that decision. And once again, my friends, if you want to talk to me live on stream, just join my Discord group and come to the general chat. We can have a conversation live on stream. I would love to do that. I love interacting with you guys. I don't feel it should be either. I made an argument that the N-word should be canceled as well for... No, okay. I think that... Okay, so my judgment of something is different from how I think that thing should be treated. Right? So if I personally say that the N-word is bad or whatever, that does not mean I think I want it to be canceled. So just because I believe the Nazi flag is bad does not mean I want us to ban Nazi flags. I think you should be able to wave whatever kind of flag that your consciousness motivates you to wield. The situation today with Rand Paul and Rachel Levine. Did I understand that correct, or that there is a motion to give minors to? I've not heard about that. I've not heard about that. Let's look it up. Actually, it's interesting. Let's see what's going on. Rand Paul and Rachel Levine. What's going on? Okay, hold on. Not heard about that actually. Again, I've been running around everywhere, so. Okay, that wasn't today. This was not today. This was the trans person that Biden nominated for yeah, so so let's read this. Okay, so from what I'm seeing here, from what I'm seeing, yeah. From what I'm seeing, Danny, let me just be honest with you. I have nothing against trans people. If you call yourself a follower of mine and you dislike someone because of their gender identity, you are no follower of mine. I know that it is risky for me to say that, being a right-leaning channel and just starting out. But guess what? I would rather have people know who I truly am and what I truly believe than operate under an illusion, under a superficial archetype of who I am, and then find out later on and get mad. So let me say this very clearly. I have nothing against transgender people. If someone estimates their ontology to be of a different gender or a different sex than how they were born, that is their decision, and I will be respectful, and I will not try to convince them otherwise. There are certain things that I, as an individual, have no control over, and that is your perception of yourself. I can't control that. I don't want to control that. You have ontological freedom as a human being. That's number one. Having said that, I do not think that children should have the option to undergo transition surgery. By children, I mean individuals under the age of 16. Why not? I think that when your body and your brain are still developing, you will sometimes vacillate between certain ideas about yourself. And I don't think that you should make something that is going to permanently shift your body at an age in which you're still trying to figure out life. Even I'm 20 right now. I'm still trying to figure out things. I got most of what I want to do in life figured out, as you guys can probably see. But there are things that I don't know. There are certain things that I don't know. Imagine a 15 or a 14-year-old. And even me, at 14, I was pretty damn mature. At 14, I looked basically the same way I looked right now. At 14, I could have bought beer. At 14, I could have bought all kind of stuff. Because of how old I look. Man, I look old right now. Jesus Christ. I look like I'm 33 or whatever. I'm 20, but I look like I'm 33. I had a lady last year say, "Happy Father's Day, Christian." I'm like, what? I'm not a father. I'm like, man, I'm 20. She's like, oh, you look like you're 33. I'm like, what? Come on. Jesus Christ, man. I look that. Is it the bald head, man? Is it the bald head? Is that why I look like I'm old? Whatever. Anyway. I don't know, man. I don't. People are weird these days. I don't get it, man. Why do we look so kindly upon youth? Think about it. Youth is typically a period of inexperience. It's typically a period where your will is suspended to whoever feeds and clothes you. It's a period of limited mobility. Why in the world do we look so kindly upon youth? And why do we equate beauty with youth? That's one of my pet peeves, people. I have had people say, "Christian, when I saw you walking, I thought you were a grown 33-year-old man." I'm like, what? I'm your age, man. Anyway, Jesus Christ, I don't get it. Man. It's one of my constant annoyances in this world. People thinking that I'm 33 or 43 and that I have kids. I don't have kids, man. I don't plan to have kids for a long time. Anyway. Okay, back on topic. Sorry, excuse me. Ran over. Yeah, I don't think that you should make a permanent decision about the physiological composition of your body at an age in which your faculties are not yet capable of apprehending the fullest sense of what you're doing. So that's my opinion on the transgender thing. If people want to believe or feel as if they are a certain way, I have no right, in any sense of the word, in any sense of the axiom, to impose my understanding of them upon me. The worst thing you can do is try to change someone's perception of themselves. That is going to be their decision. But am I going to let a 10-year-old disfigure their... Not disfigure, excuse me. Excuse me. Actually, that was wrong. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Not disfigure. Excuse me. I didn't mean to say it like that. Excuse me. Okay, I feel bad now. Excuse me. If there are any trans folks watching me, I did not mean to say that. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I feel bad now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did not mean to say that word. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Look, excuse me, okay? Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Crap. Okay. Okay. Shit. Okay, excuse me. Damn. Okay. Sometimes my mind gets ahead of my tongue sometimes, okay? Am I going to let a 10-year-old alter their bodies, not disfigure, alter their bodies to such an extent that they cannot possibly, if they were to arrive upon different reasoning in the future, change it? I don't think that's responsible. So please, excuse me for saying, if there are any trans folks watching, I did not mean to say disfigure. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Excuse me. Jesus Christ. This is why live is dangerous, man. You can't take anything back. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. So, no, I respect is a very big deal for me. Respect is a very big deal for me. There are some pundits who are so angry and so vindictive, and they just love attacking people. Look, I love every single human being. We are equal in our humanity. So, look, I just... We're different in many ways socially, but in our fundamental human worth, we're equal. So please, excuse me for saying that. I didn't mean to say that. Excuse me. Excuse me. But yeah, so that's my opinion about the trans thing. Kids should not be doing that stuff. Now, but here's my thing, though. If there's a 10 or 11-year-old that want to wear our girls' clothes if they're a boy, or whatever, hey, go ahead. Go ahead. Look, being a child is about exploring and wondering. And if I had a 10-year-old son, some of you are going to hate me for this. If I had a 10-year-old son, and he was like, Father, I want to go play with Barbie. Go ahead, son. I don't love you any less. You're still my son. Go ahead. Father, I want to go dress up like a princess. Go ahead, son. What is a boy dressing up like a princess going to do to his development? It's not. More often than not, here's what happens. More often than not, they'll probably find out, okay, this is not my thing, and boom, fine. Go ahead. I don't care. I mean, so if if kids want to go out and do that kind of stuff, okay, go do it. Have it supervised, obviously, but go. I don't care. Now, what I wouldn't do. Now, there are some parents that are letting their kid be drag queens. I wouldn't do that, because a drag queen is a sexual thing, believe it or not. I am against the sexualization of children. It is disgusting. It is disgusting. There's this like little 10-year-old drag queen, and there are grown-ass men, excuse my language, but there are grown men throwing money at him. Like, what the hell? Oh no. Oh, not my kid. Oh. No, sir. No, ma'am. Not Christian Watson's child, man. No. No, 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 no. No, no. 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 Nope. Nope. No. Never. Never. Nope. No. But so, yeah, I mean, so there's a difference. If a child wants to play with a temporal hobby, like dressing up with women or dressing up like a girl or a boy, whatever the hell, then there's no damage, okay, go ahead. There's obviously limits, but go ahead. Yeah, it is. No kid drag queens. Drag queen is sexual. That stuff is provocative as heck, no. But there are kids out there doing drag queen stuff. This is where I break with the cultural leftists. This is why I break. I break with it, man. A kid should not be in a drag club performing. No, sir. Okay, E3, stop it, man. We don't encourage violence. We don't encourage violence in this chat, man. We don't encourage violence in this chat. We do not encourage violence in this chat. This is a pensive space. No violence. No violence. But I mean, if you hurt children, I don't like you. If you hurt children, I'll tell you guys this. I had a high school teacher who taught me environmental science. Environmental science. Environmental science. And he used to work in foster care. I always had the impression that this individual was a creep. So there were two sections of the classroom that sometimes we would go over to his room and we would do some work. Other times we would go over to the other room and do some work. And he never touched me or treated me inappropriately, anything like that. There's nothing like that happened. But I just always felt that he was creepy. This is in high school. This is my senior year of high school. So I was like 18, 17 this time. He just struck me as creepy. And a year ago, last summer, I read my local news. I'm not in my town right now for college, so I've kind of moved away from paying attention to the news there. But I read the local news there, and I read that this man has been arrested for the possession and the dissemination of child you-know-what. This is a man who taught me. He taught me in 2 or 3 classes. This is someone who I knew. This is someone who at the time was teaching at a children's Christian school. A Christian academy for children. I have no tolerance for people who abuse or who try to exploit children. None. I don't care if that is in the form of cuties. I don't care if that is a child drag queen. I don't care. I don't care. If you try to exploit or bring children into your sexual depraved fantasies, or you try to impose upon children a quality that they should not have to deal with until they are in their puberty age or even above that point, then I have no love for you. None. Zero. Zada. So, don't get that wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not that easygoing. That kind of stuff bothers me, man. The fact that he was teaching, he taught me. This man taught me. And here he was exploiting children. Oh my Lord. I'm still bothered over that too, by the way. I don't understand that crap, man. I'll never understand it. Maybe it's not for me to understand. You know, some things are just hidden knowledge, forbidden knowledge, right? Man. It's terrible. Don't be afraid of... Yes, they do. Yes, they do, Danny. Yes, they do. Don't be afraid of cancel culture. It's apparent. Anyone wouldn't see that. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I mean, look, I just want to be respectful. And I've already been canceled several times over on my campus and elsewhere. I'm not worried about... I want to be respectful because ultimately, my friends, I have to sleep with me at the end of the day. Every night when I get into my bed and I close my eyes, I think, okay, Christian, what have you done today to be the best person that you can be? And if I have not respected people in contingent with their inherent human worth, I will have considered myself a failure for that day. This is just how Christian Watson thinks. Everyone else is free to have a different opinion, but this is how he thinks. I love everyone. Well, okay. 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 Hold on. Okay. Hold on. I love most people. I don't love people who are predators or exploiters or whatever. I love most people. And so, if I don't have any reason not to love you, I'm going to try to respect you. So, anyway, that's just what that's how I roll. That's how I roll. $23 people from what I can see. Well, that's awesome, guys. Not everyone, KM. Not everyone, man. There was a Chinese philosopher called Mosi. And he believed in the concept of universal love. This was kind of posed against Confucius' idea of hierarchical love, that you situate people who you love in a degree of importance. I don't believe in Mosi's idea. I'm not sure I believe in Confucius' idea either, but I don't believe in Mosi's idea. Not everyone deserves our love. Some people don't deserve love. Some folks don't. I'm sorry. Not because they're struggling, but because some people are just genuinely just very bad people. Yeah, no, pedophiles don't deserve my love. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. Then not me. Danny, how have I helped you? How have I helped you, man? How have I helped you? How have I helped you, brother? But yeah, so that's just how I feel, my friends. Okay, yeah, okay. So again, sorry, KM, my mind's not working today. What did Jim Steinman say? My mind just isn't what it was. My mind just isn't what it was. My mind just isn't what it was. Is there anyone left who can think? My legs just aren't what they were. My legs just aren't what they were. That's a song from So Jim Steinman was Meatloaf. You guys know who Meatloaf is? Meatloaf is a singer. Jim Steinman is was Meatloaf's songwriter. And Jim Steinman and Meatloaf have a song called Who Needs the Young. It's basically the incoherent ramblings of an older person who is dissatisfied with his old age and who is cursing the young who have more capabilities than he has comparatively. And he's just spinning the entire song, reminiscing over his youth and stuff like that. It's a brilliant song. It shows the bitterness that old age can give us if we don't moderate ourselves and we don't try to understand things in perspective. The bitterness of jealousy and conceit. But Danny, how have I helped you? I'm surprised no one wants to come talk to me. If you want to talk to me on the stream, just go to my Discord group and join the group chat and we'll talk. On stream, on live. Just please don't curse. Try not to, at least. But yeah, we have people in here who... it has come to my awareness that there are probably... there are children listening to me. And I want to set a good example. Yet the bitterness of wasted years. No, that's right, Danny. Look, if you let stuff build up inside, if you let certain thoughts build up inside, it festers, and then eventually what happens is something just comes out of you that you either didn't mean or that is something that you can't control. No. It is so good to get your thoughts out. I encourage every one of you to write your thoughts down. It's so good, man. It's necessary. It's necessary, my friends. It's necessary. I like the live stream with God. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it, Juggalo. I do. Look, I mean, Gothix is a wonderful person. I love him. I'm hoping that we'll do some things in the future. But no, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you. Just thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it immensely. Right. Venture ideas in a constructive manner. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's correct. That's the best way to do things. I agree. Hey, E3, not every thought is going to be a sweet caramel tart. Some thoughts will be burnt popcorn. Some thoughts will just be bland. Not every thought is going to be edifying. You know. And yeah, look, Danny. Look, I am open to talk about any subject. I don't mind. I don't care. I don't mind. I'm happy. What did Phil Collins say? And Take Me Home. I'm gonna quiz you guys, and don't you dare look up the lyrics. Don't you look up the lyrics. What did Phil Collins say in Take Me Home? Don't look up the lyrics. Don't do that. That's cheater's way out. If you are if you are an authentic soul, you will know this question. What did Phil Collins say in Take Me Home? It's the common refrain of the song, and it's not Take Me Home. It's something else. I'll wait. Well, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to... Hopefully one of you know. If you don't know, then yikes. Aussie Wolfhound. Did anyone else refuse to watch the mainstream news? Me? For many reasons. Number one, they're all ideologically driven. I don't mind ideology, but I want you to put truth before ideology. I'm very much ideologically driven, but if the truth says, hey, Christian Watson, your presuppositions are wrong, I change my presuppositions. Simple. Media outlets do not do that. Network news does not do that, because they're trying to sell something to you. They don't get paid by not changing their preconceptions. They get paid by reciting what you want to hear. Don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what is going to help me get closer to the truth. That's number one. Number two, it's bland. I don't want to see some propped up, overly make-upped, woman, or man for that matter, rant to me about the news of the day. I don't want to hear that crap. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to see that crap. The aesthetics are almost more appealing than the content. I want my content to be more appealing, or just as appealing, as the aesthetics. But network news is about aesthetics, and that makes the content typically bland. That's number two. Plus, let's just be honest here, my friends. YouTube and digital media offers you more possibilities, offers you more options, and it's more flexible than network news is. So no, I don't listen to network news. I don't. No, I used to a lot, but not anymore, man. Doing this right here, making videos, doing this is fine with me. I am okay. I'm fine with this. No problem, them on Axe. No problem. No problem. I'm happy to. Happy to. Exactly. Well, that's not skewed. That's right. That's right, A3. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. You have to. Yeah. Because, look, if you just sit there and take what you are seeing for granted as the truth, you're not doing your due diligence. And to not do your due diligence is to tragically forsake your ability to understand the world for yourself. And that's not a good thing. It's a very bad thing. All right. But yeah, if you guys look, okay, so we're in the Q&A phase now. If you guys have any questions for me, just ask, please. Okay, Juggalo, I don't know why your message is being deleted. I don't know. Okay, so here's the thing. YouTube is doing stuff across many channels because I don't know why, actually. I can't rationalize why. I'm not going to. That's not my place. But if your comment is being deleted, I am sorry. It's not me. It's not my moderators. It's something else. It's the YouTube algorithm. So my apologies. I don't delete anything. I don't delete anything. I don't delete anything. I let things stay because I want people to see everything. So let me figure out what's going on here, because I don't delete anything, guys. I don't delete anything. It's not what I do. Where, Maddie? Yeah, of course I do. I mean, we talked about Dr. Seuss earlier. Of course I do. It's my goal to become a political commentator. So of course I talk about politics. Of course I do. Of course I do. Of course I do. What are my views on people who find homosexuality upsetting? You're trying to start a fire, aren't you? You're trying to get me in trouble, Frog Cage. Expand on that question. People who disagree with it from a religious point of view, or people who just think the idea of two men together is disgusting. What do you mean, Frog Cage? Expand upon your idea. What do you mean, people who find homosexuality? Oh, heterosexuality. Okay. 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 Well, I'll answer both questions. I kind of imposed one on myself because I misunderstood what you were saying. But I'll answer both questions. But just explain a little bit more for me, please. Explain to me. What do you mean about what do I think of people who find homosexuality or heterosexuality upsetting? Like, what do you mean by that? Just explain to me a little bit more what you mean before I answer the question, because I don't want to jump the gun, of course. So that's not what I do. Okay, so let me answer that question, okay? So I don't talk about this very much, okay? Not because I'm hiding it, but I just don't think that it's important to my commentary or my analysis or my thoughts in general. But I think all of you know that you are currently watching and listening to a homosexual man. I think all of you know that. Some of you maybe didn't know that. Some of you may be saying, "Oh, I didn't know. You don't look." Well, whatever. I don't think you can look. Anyway, I think all of you know in this chat room that you are currently listening to one of those people. I don't think that sexuality is a matter to get upset about, provided one is not using the sexuality in an exploitative way. I don't. Look, there are Christians that object to homosexuality for religious reasons. I think that someone can view homosexuality in a way that I disagree with, but also still be respectful and kind. I have a lot of people in my family who are Pentecostals who don't agree with me being gay, but who still love me for who I am. And that's all I ever asked for. There are people who have lifestyles that I don't agree with personally. I don't agree with drinking and drugs and all that kind of stuff. I don't do that. But I still love my friends who go out to the bar that drink or who smoke weed. I still love them. I don't follow in their steps. And they have not asked me to follow in their steps. So I still love them. I don't think... It's just not an issue for me. For some people it is, and I'm sorry that it is an issue for them. That's a shame. I'm not forcing my preference on anyone. I'm not telling anyone what I'm just being me, okay? So, I don't know, Frog. So far I haven't had a person say, Christian, I'm unsubscribing to you because you're gay. Because look, I just don't advertise it that much. It's not important. What's important is the contents of my mind, right? It's not important if I like men or not. It's not important. It doesn't mean very much. It doesn't mean very much. Now there are some people who are like, oh, I'm gay and black and conservative. I am XYZ. That's not Christian Watson. It's not me. It's not me. It's not me. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, Maddie, look, it shouldn't be a big deal. Now, when I said that, I've noticed my viewership numbers dropped immediately when I said that. Look, if there are people on this channel who have subscribed to me because they wanted me to be something that I'm not, bye. Bye. I can't change that. I can't change that. I'm sorry. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be something that I'm not. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be... it's not going to happen. And it's just... It's a shame that a lot of people allow themselves to get into that mental rut. And yet... Exactly, Hillary. Exactly. Look, there are people, there are Christians, and guess what? I'm gonna hit you with something that might even make your socks fall off and make you say, what? Guess what, guys? I'm a Christian too. I'm a Christian too. I believe in Jesus Christ. I've had a lot of people say, well, Christian, you can't be a Christian, no pun intended, because you like men. Do you know what I say to them? I say, leave that between me and God. My spiritual relationship is personal. I like to keep it personal. That's when I go to bed every night and I'm in conversation with the deity, that's me and him. That's our time together. That doesn't involve you. Doesn't involve your judgment. Doesn't involve you, the imprimatur of your wisdom. God knows. God knows who I am. God knows me better than any of you or anyone else in the world. And if my sexuality makes you think that God loves me any less, then I would argue you don't know God. So That's my opinion. That's just my opinion on things, Frog Cage. That's my opinion on things, guys. You can disagree. It's fine. You can disagree all you want. That's no problem. I would be surprised if you agree with me on most of what I say, because some of what I say is some crazy stuff, man. But I would be surprised. So no, look, it's okay. Yes, Aussie. Yes, 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 yes. Um, Look, I haven't received a lot of anti-gay bullying in my lifetime. But when I have, actually, that's an irrelevant point. I shouldn't say that because that makes no sense. Okay, let's backtrack. There is a culture of men, and this is gonna get a little bit. Okay, guys, I'm about to get a little bit real. Okay, a little bit not explicit, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. Okay. There is a contingent of men in the African American community who are referred to as down low men. Down low men are a phenomenon of men who, by day, claim to be heterosexual or who make no obvious signs of what their sexuality is. And by night, they're out there doing things that they want to keep secret, typically with other men. This is a phenomenon. This is a ubiquitous phenomenon. There are pastors, who have been outed as down low men. Pastors with grown children and a wife of 30 years who are out there having sex with the choir boy. Guys, I'm about to get real with you, man. I'm sorry. But let's be honest, okay? Man, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this shit for you, man. I'm sorry. Excuse my cursing. God help me. Excuse my cursing. I didn't mean to curse. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this stuff with you. This is some real stuff here. There is a phenomenon. And this phenomenon is primarily produced from resentment. Resentment. Exactly. It's resentment. Instead of trying to deal with this stuff in context of a spiritual union with God, they try to deal with it through deceit and falsehood. Do you know how many people I've talked to? And forget the African American community. This is a ubiquitous plague. Do you know how many people I have talked to in other races or whatever who have told me, Christian, I caught my boyfriend having sex with his best friend? Girls who told me that. What's wrong? Guys, man, look. There comes a point in time where you have to be willing to be honest enough with yourself to prevent yourself from doing certain actions that betray your integrity and betray your moral character. Seriously. I don't care if you're scared about grandpa finding out that you like boys. If you have a girlfriend and you're sleeping with other men or women or whatever, but especially other men, there's something wrong with you, man. You're living in deceit. And a life lived in deceit is not a life whatsoever. It's a pale, emaciated imitation, a projection of what a life might look like if you weren't being so dishonest all the damn time. Look, if I were to sit up here and pretend to be Mr. Perfect Christian with the Bible in his under his shoulder and, oh, God this, God that, you guys, I'm going to preach to you, let me help you with your sins, and you catch me tomorrow doing something with a guy, and I had been hiding it, what the hell would I look like? It's always these people who are so militant about their objections against gay folks who are found in the bathroom stall sucking. Man, don't say it, Christian. Okay, I need to calm down. But am I not wrong? They're always found under a stall somewhere doing something perverse. Okay, man. Excuse me. Excuse me. This is a family-friendly stream. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. This is real stuff, guys. I mainly focus on politics and philosophy. But guess what? Real life feeds into those two things. Real life feeds into those two things. You cannot talk about politics or philosophy or culture as if they exist solely in a vacuum. These things are interrelated and interconnected. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Okay, so that's my opinion. Guys, I don't care what you are, who you are, what you believe. Be honest with yourself, please. If you're deceiving other people, that's bad enough. Because typically when you're deceiving other people, you tend to know that what you're doing is deceitful, which suggests that you have an understanding of who you are. But when you're deceiving yourself, imagine yourself as a car. And the car, when under deceit, has its windows blacked out. And you're driving the car that has no windows, that has no visibility, down a road full of other cars, down the highway. You are bound to crash into something. Don't deceive anyone, but especially, please, I beggeth you, don't deceive yourself. Emerson said you have to get rid of dead customs that are of no use to you. In fact, let me read to you the exact quote, because it is a particularly profound quote in my opinion. In my personal opinion. So Emerson says in Self-Reliance, the objection to conforming to usages that have become dead to you is that it scatters your force. So when you conform to things that have no relevance to your life, your ability to do things in this world is scattered. It is less powerful. You are limiting your energy. You are limiting your power. The law of scarcity already dictates that everything in this universe has a limited amount. The human being is especially revealed through this fact. It is especially revealed because human beings, whether it's by our genetics, whether it's by our geographies, whether it's by our bones, our bone structure, whatever, our physiology itself imposes the law of scarcity upon us. Emerson knows this, so he says, when you object to things that have no use to you and your energy, you keep the little bit of stuff that you do have. So when you live a lie to animate a dead idea that has nothing to do with you and everything to do with your past or everything to do with your history or your family's history or daddy's history or mommy's history, when you begin doing that kind of stuff, you limit your creative ability. Stop it. So I don't care if you are someone who is a conservative and you're in a sea of liberals and you hate speaking up, stop it. I don't care if you're a down low brother, lying to yourself about who you like, stop it. I don't care if you are a person trying to impress someone so they'll be your friend. Stop it. I don't care if... Man, I don't care who or what you are. If you continue to let these things that are dead to you, that have no relevance to you, scatter your ability to live, then you are not living a good life. Damn it. Alright, guys. Okay. Let's move on. Alright, because, man, I'm not trying to preach to you guys, but this is just the truth, man. It's just the truth. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to be honest always. Even if you don't agree with me, I'm honest. Anyway, sorry. Okay, I don't know what's going on with the comments. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on with the comments. Counter Collective, can you make sure? I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know. It's not us, guys. It's not us. Something else. I don't know what's going on, but use this chat, live stream chat, and things. Yeah, that's what they've been doing. Okay, I've missed some things. My apologies. I've missed some things. I missed some things. I'm gonna go back into the chat. Okay. Do I know Young Pharaoh and the Hoteps? I've heard of them, and I've seen them in a few. Instances. I've heard of them. I know Hotep Jesus. I've heard of him before. I think I saw Brandon Tatum get mad at Hotep Jesus, and cursing out on Zoom. And look, man, Christian Watson's not a drama person. We like to stay pensive here. We do philosophy here. So I don't. If the Hoteps want to talk to me, I'm fine with that. But I don't. Okay, look, I have nothing against the Hoteps or Brandon Tatum, but I just don't like drama. It detracts us from thinking about issues critically. I don't like drama. So, if any of them want to talk to me, then yeah, it happens. I'm not sure what's happening, guys, but put in good faith that I am not censoring anyone. Okay, because I love all of you, by the way. I love all of you. All right, Maddie. Okay, Maddie. Okay, what is your political question? Because I'm getting a little bit too real for people. I already know it. I'm getting a little bit too real for some people in this place. I'm getting a little bit too real. And so I'm gonna tone it down a little bit. I'm getting a little bit too real. That's okay though. Hey, when you get hit by pensive fire, man. I remember when it first happened to me. But yeah, in my short little rant there about the gay stuff, I lost like 2 subscribers. Some people don't want. Some people see. Here's what I've noticed. A lot of folks operate with a certain idea of who you are, and when you shatter that idea of who you are, they make you foreign to them. And in your foreignness, so to speak, they discard you. So, my sincere apology. Okay, bye, Frog. See you, man. You have a nice day, okay? You have a nice day. Thank you for stopping by. So, I'm happy that this is I'm kind of filtering out things, because guess what? If you guys are not into Christian Watson, who he truly is, bye. You can go. I'm sorry. My apologies. Not really. Sorry. I'm gonna keep being who I am, and you guys can keep being who you are, and we don't have to change for anyone. We can, But Maddie, what is your question? If Maddie is still here. Maddie is still here. I want to know what her question is. Exactly. Hey, it's not just the left that does the identity politics stuff. Some people on the right do the same thing. It's a shame, but I'm going into an industry where some people are going to want to tokenize me for my unconventional opinions. And there will be parts of me that they don't like. And so when they figure out they can't tokenize me, there goes my use to them. But the best thing is we don't live for other people, do we? We ultimately, first and foremost, you help your family, you help them, but ultimately you live for yourself. Ultimately, you live for yourself, guys. Ultimately, that's what happens. You live for yourself. This isn't to say be so self-centered that you cannot see anything beyond yourself. This is simply to say that you should don't let anyone else estimate your value for you. That's right. Hey, E3, you're right, man. You're right. I've stopped. Look, we're almost at 2,000. Nice number. I would rather have 200 people who genuinely cared and liked me as a person and genuinely cared and liked my stuff than 2,000 people who are operating in relation to me as if I'm a caricature. It's more widespread in Oh yeah, no, I agree. Socialists are identitarians. They're collectivists, identitarians of the highest order, of course. Because for the socialist, your identity as a worker, or as a person who is in the quote-unquote lower class, is essentially the only thing they need to know about you before they go and try to help, quote-unquote, help you. That is the root of your epistemic and ontological validity. That's right. Look, the Juggalos and the Insane Clown Posse, I have never felt threatened by them. I'm not into the Insane Clown Posse, personally. I think they're a little bit too aggressive for my taste. I don't listen to rap. And that's some rough stuff, man. That's some rough stuff. My soul can't handle that rough stuff, man. I'm sorry. I don't. That Insane Clown Posse is some rough stuff. Whoo! I can't handle it, man. I can't do it. No. But I'm nothing against Juggalos. And I don't think that people should attack people for liking certain kinds of music. It's just too rough for me, man. Then again, Metallica and other kind of folks are rough as well. I can't handle that, man. I listen to love music. Old school love music. Marvin Gaye, Patti LaBelle, Anita Baker, Lauryn Hill, that kind of stuff I listen to. Luther Vandross. You know, Van Halen, 5150, one of their best albums. Joe Cocker, excuse me. That kind of stuff. Leon Russell. Those old school guys talk about love too, you know. This kind of stuff. So that's what I listen to personally. I can't handle all that. Blah, 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 blah. I can't handle all that. Yeah. Yeah, no, look, juggalos are fine people. I have nothing against them. I can't. It's too much. The base is too heavy for me, man. I'm sorry. Class warfare was largely a failure in the U.S., so they had to push the other collectivism. Yeah. Although I think that, no, I actually disagree. I think class warfare is very much a constant in American political discourse. Bernie Sanders was able to rally thousands of young people on the false premise that there are a certain group of people that own wealth. That is the core premise That is the foundational premise of any class warfare tactic, to convince people of an absolute falsehood that someone owns wealth. Wealth is not owned, people. Wealth is a dynamic quantity that is created and transferred infinitely. The way wealth moves is similar to how the third law of thermodynamics operates, in that it is not owned, it is produced and dispersed naturally through human interaction. At least in the capitalist system it is. Now, when you bind wealth to solely a material, quantifiable quantity, as they do in communism and socialism, what you get is an emaciated version of wealth that is very easily controlled, measured, and used for political purposes. So in all honesty, you see the premise of class warfare play out not in the free market, not in capitalism, but actually in socialist frameworks. It's disgusting. It's dishonest. It's deceptive. And if the only way for you to convince people of your points is through deception, your points have no basis in reality. They have basis only in the desire for you to obtain some sort of power, or to make some sort of thing happen. So, I disagree, Alex. This is not... Class warfare, or at least the rhetoric of class warfare, is still very much alive in America, unfortunately. And is being pushed by people who have something to gain from it. By Elizabeth Warren, by Bernie Sanders, by Cornel West. This entire industry of talkers and politicians and legislators who are just animating this dreadful desire in the mind of some Americans that their destinies are controlled not by themselves, but by Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or someone who they've never met in their life beyond a computer screen. That's the deceitfulness. That's the big lie, if anything else. So I'm sorry, but we have to rethink how we categorize wealth in America, because language is one of the chief mediums by which we understand the world. So that's my opinion. Sorry for the rant, but that's my opinion. That's my personal opinion. Ask me some more questions, guys. What I mean is that by itself, it failed to take over. That is all meant with... Yeah, well... No, well, I would argue that class warfare is a pernicious form of identity politics, though. In my opinion. That's what I would argue, Alex. And it may seem like that I'm being very meticulous here. I'm not trying... I just want to be very careful. I want to be very careful with the concepts that I lend power. That I lend validity to. So, that's that. But yeah, so ask some questions, guys. We'll probably wrap up soon. I think I've wrestled some feathers already today, so I don't want to keep poking the lion, so to speak. But hey, look, if I need to have more live streams, if only to filter out the people who don't really want to be here for the real Christian Watson and who have this misguided image of who I am, then hey, we're gonna have live stream every night. Not really, but still. Yeah, okay, so Cam, I talked about this on Jesse Kelly today. I'm happy Texas reopened, but it should have never closed in the first place. And the fact that we were happy about Governor Abbott reopening the state kind of begets the question, why weren't we mad or more angry, or why aren't we remembering the fact that he closed the state down? Why are our rights, the bigger question, the macro question is, why are our rights being selectively applied, and why are we celebrating our leaders for letting us exercise what is already natural to us? We should not celebrate us being able to use our property how I want to use it. We should not exercise. That's not a celebratory occasion. It is actually quite it is a sign of things that have gone sad if I'm celebrating the fact that a governor has let me be able to use my rights. So, yeah, I'm happy that Texas is abandoning a not only an ineffective, but an immoral, utilitarian lockdown strategy that has done nothing but cause damage to the economy and violated property rights. I'm happy about that, but I'm not happy that people are happy that a governor is letting them exercise their rights. The governor is not there to let you do shit. Excuse my language. But the governor is not there to let you. The governor is there to keep others from stopping you from doing stuff. That is the function of the American government. So, yeah, great. Texas reopened. A, why did they close? B, why is Abbott getting credit for letting people practice what is already natural to them? And C, should he get off the hook for letting us continue to our lives? And D, are we ever going to put our foots down and say, hey, I don't care what's going on, my rights are absolute, and if you're going to have a policy decision, it will be predicated on that axiom. So, that's my opinion about the Texas situation. And I talked about this with Jesse. I chatted about this with Jesse Kelly today. And again, if you guys want to watch that, it'll be on 9 p.m. on the First TV, or I'll have the clip up tomorrow on this channel. Yeah, Danny, you're right. I'm going to get some rest soon. I'm probably going to be up for a few more hours, though, because I don't stop working. I don't stop working. It's night and day for me, man. Even when I'm in bed, I'm watching videos that are educational and documentaries. I keep going, guys. I have to keep going. Exactly. No. Yeah, Alex, you already know. You already know, my friends. You already know, my friend. That literally, California had some of the strictest lockdown procedures in the nation. They stopped churches from gathering. John MacArthur, who's a famous Christian theologian, who I don't always agree with, but he was like leading the charge against this. And then California has some of the largest surges in the country. Whereas places like North Dakota, I think that's Kristi Noem stayed, didn't lock down at all, and their numbers have been relatively stable. So I mean, no. But even hey, let's presume that lockdowns are effective. Let us presume that lockdowns are effective. They are not, but let's presume so. They're still immoral. I don't care if something is effective. It is if its conception or its use is immoral, you don't do it. Rights should not be sacrificed on the altar of efficacy. Because if rights are sacrificed on the altar of efficacy, what are you being efficacious for? You're being efficacious for an infernal desire, for an infernal aim. Shit, sorry. See, I get on my spills and I stutter. But you get my point, right, guys? You get my point, right? No. We have to have the context of rights guiding all of our actions, or else we don't have a just government anymore, and we are missing the point of the government in the first place. So, yeah. And our kitty, you're correct. You're correct. You are correct, sir, as the McMahon would say. You are correct. They do. All levels of government revel in violating rights, and they try to convince you that them violating rights is a charitable premise. It worries me that a president of the United States can declare martial law at a whim, and the Supreme Court, according to current case law, allows that. That worries me. You're funny, Alex. Thank you so much for coming. You're funny, Alex. Thank you. In a good way, of course. In a good way. I don't know what you mean, E3. I'm not sure what you mean. I don't understand. But yeah, so you guys know that I love you to death, and that you guys are one of Counter Collective. Can you please put my podcast in the chat, please? Counter Collective, can you do that for me, please? Um, you guys know that I love you and I adore you, and that you sitting here listening to me brightens up my afternoon or my evening. It really does. Because I'm doing my best to start an operation here, guys. I want an operation to start here. I want to inspire you guys, not just to listen to me, but to go out there in your daily lives and also be pensive people. To go out there in your daily lives and also be people who are going to brighten up someone's life with revelation, with revelatory fire, as I like to say. I want to encourage you guys to do that stuff. It's not about you liking Christian Watson, although that's a nice after effect. It's about you being a thoughtful person in every aspect of life. So it's that. It's almost been 2 hours. That's actually short for me. That is short. That is very short for me, actually. 2 hours. God, that's short. That's short. My podcast goes on for 49 minutes. And speaking of that, yes, in the chat, there is now a link to my podcast. Please go ahead and subscribe. If you guys could do me a big favor right now, if every single one of you could click the Apple Podcast link and right now, if you could, leave a review, like a written review, and also like rate it on the thing, that would help me a lot. I'm trying to get my podcast higher in the analytics. I'm doing my best. So if you guys could if you have like an iPhone or whatever, if you could review it on Apple Podcast and rate it there, I would love you forever. As Meatloaf said, I'm gonna love her for both of us. I'm gonna love her for both of us. That's a brilliant song too, by the way. Thank you, JC. I love you too, man. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. But if you guys can just go ahead and do that, please. If you click on the Apple Podcast link, which is the second link there, rate the show, and also leave a written review after you've watched, of course. I would appreciate it immensely. I do episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Didn't do one today because I'm doing this. So Friday there'll be a new episode out. So just please, if you could help me out, I would appreciate that. You guys help me out by looking at my channel. The podcast is just as important in my opinion. So, yeah. That's right. Okay, if you guys have anything else to say, I'll wait. I'll stick around for like 5 more minutes, but then I'm gonna go. So I need to relax. If you have anything else to say, I'll stick around for a little bit more, then I'm gonna go. Juggalo, I don't know what was going on there, man. I'm sorry. It wasn't us. It was not ours. It was not us. Okay, so my apologies about that. It was not us. I'm sorry about your comment. It was on us. It was not us. So my apologies. I appreciate your support, man. And I have no idea what happened, but YouTube is just being very weird right now. So excuse that. I don't know what's going on, but it is not us. It's not us. It is not us. Okay. No, it's no problem. It's no problem, man. It's no problem. It's no problem, man. It's no problem. Night, Alex. Bye bye. All right, guys. I'm about to head out as well. Thank you so much for being here, my friends. I love you. Have you? Hold on. Have you been following anything going on in Canada? We're going. Ooh, I have not. Anarchity. If you could send me an email about that, and I will look into it. There'll possibly be a potential video topic. The email would be Watson. No. Official C Watson at gmail.com. Official C Watson. You know my email. You've emailed me before. So just email me and like send me an article or whatever. And I'll look at it. So yeah, guys. Okay. I'm probably gonna get out of here. Go get some. Just not get any. Not sleep. Obviously. Not. I don't ever sleep. I do sleep, but not often. Oh God, I sound terrible now. But I'm gonna get out of here. I'm probably just go toy around. I don't know. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening to me. It means a lot to me. And as I always say, my friends, look. You know, as I always say, you're helping a 20-year-old guy achieve his dreams by every like, every comment, everything you do. You are helping me achieve my dreams. Thank you. Thank you. You have no idea how much that means to me. You have no clue. You have no clue. Thank you so much, Danny. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right, guys. I love you so much. Thank you for staying here, hanging out with me. But as always, my friends, I love you, and please stay pensive. Bye-bye.